Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hey, it's Wednesday night. We capping off your Wednesday with what? The Heavy Hitters Live weekly game preview show. Like I said, I'm your host, K Styles. Stage left, as you already know, it is the Senator, Mad Mike Sports.
Right.
All the way to the left. We got the calm before the storm. The minister, Jew Talk Sports, is in here with us. And down at the there you go. That's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'm waiting on. I mean, we ain't got a victory bell in a while, so we gotta get this right now. But
Mm-hmm.
and down at the bottom, as we already know, man, this is one of my OGs as well. It is the Summer Hill Nightmare. The Donna's in the building.
Hey y'all, the only meat that you need to use when you boil your collard greens is ham hock.
Period.
Don't use nothing else.
I'm like, Mike, look, Mike, like, really, we already started
I
this off
don't
now.
know where I was waiting for it to go with something else. Oh, he said meat and collard greens. I was like, okay, well, like, huh? Where the
He's
hell
like,
that
what the,
come from?
he said, what's the end joke?
Yeah, I was waiting for a punchline, and it's like there was nothing else. I was like, okay.
Now everybody be using turkey meat and other stuff, turkey necks. No, use ham hocks.
My mom always used ham hocks. I don't know who you know using turkey necks, but
Yes.
I, you know,
Hey, yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Exactly. We like I said, I done seen some weird stuff, but we'll talk about that later. But tonight we got a special guest, as you already know, representing the New Orleans Saints.
yes, sir. Ooh,
As you already
turn around.
yeah. With the Drew Brees shirt.
Yeah, I had
Nah,
your
man.
back.
Nah, man. This one of our friends over here. We got Nathan from Busted Knee Sports, man. Go ahead, man. Tell the folks all about yourself, man.
Man,
but
my name is Nathan.
gotta be rude. I gotta be rude. I gotta be rude. I gotta be rude. I have to. Sorry, Nate. But you gotta explain that to me. I told kids I was gonna let it go, but could you explain us the busted knee? How you come up with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
name,
man.
busted knee?
Okay, cool. I've been on another show and nobody's asked me yet. So I blew my knee out at the end of my freshman year of high school. It was May 2016 because I'm a 2019 class of 2019 grad. So it's been 5 years now. Crazy. Anyway, so I had recurrent patella dislocations. It's kind of a hereditary thing. My mama had the
Mm,
issue. My little cousin actually tore her same knee up that I did, similar injury to me, and she's 6 years
Mhm.
younger than me. So it runs in the family. I get up. Somebody asked me to come to the front of the classroom. Ironically, a guy that was on Sports Center from our town. Fun fact, named Kyle again. You look up his Scott Van Pelt
mm.
little thing that he
Okay.
did. But I got to step over dude's foot, knee shreds, man, tore a half-inch chunk by an inch chunk out of my meniscus, and then another like inch by inch piece. Had the surgery and went and got checked out a few months ago. The arthritis is fine, man, but I've always loved sports. I started calling Paul Feinbaum when he got on the SEC network, calling him talking about college football. I've actually had the opportunity on the Paul Feinbaum show to talk to Saints legend Super Bowl champion Roman Harper, and he like sat there and like talked to me. So like it's been different things like that that I've gotten to experience. God has really blessed me in the things that I've been able to do with this passion of sports that I have, and it all the glory does go to God for everything, for even this
Amen, bro.
opportunity to
Amen,
come
bro.
on, y'all. And it's just been a thing, man. And Busted Knee Sports, I'm an LSU fan, as you guys can see. The LSU stuff on the wall right here. It's my little LSU studio wall we got rocking. And
Ain't no wrong
I
with
know
that.
I talk a lot, my bad, y'all, but I got Tuesday night Talking Tigers on Busted Knee Sports TikTok live at 6:30 Central. And as of starting this coming Thursday, I have collaborated with 5 other guys that are college football fans from SEC teams. I don't know if y'all know who the Dog Father is. Y'all are Falcons guys, so I don't know if you know who the
Yes,
Dog
yes,
Father
yes,
is.
yes.
But he's collaborating with us. My boy JT from Roll Tide Nation, the face of Bama fandom. He's on the part of the Bama Standard group here on YouTube as well. My
Mhm.
boy Jamie Delaney grew up with this man. He's the only rational Tennessee fan I know. So a
I know
conversation
that.
with Jamie sparked it. right? And then my co-host of our weekly show, Jacob from Tiger Bay, and my guy Jacob, who's a Mississippi State alum and somebody that I know. So 8 o'clock on TikTok, on the Roll Tide Nation TikTok, or on Busted Any Sports TikTok, or the Dog Father. And check us out next Thursday night, 8 o'clock, for all your SEC breakdowns, man, the different perspectives of folks. I'm a big college football guy, but I'm a Houdat as well to the core, man. Like, and that's why I'm excited to talk ball, because the Falcons, we don't like each other, so it's a good little vibe. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you was good until you said who that. You could have just left that.
There you go.
I went
There
on
we
a
go.
Bama show. I went on the Bama Standard and looked him dead in their face and said Bama's going 9-3 and losing to Auburn. I made one of the guest hosts get up out his chair. I made Mr. JD.
Well, you just made that one on the corner very happy with that one.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey,
What
look.
What
Look.
bro?
I didn't know y'all was gonna laugh this much 10 minutes in.
Hey, look, man. I'm loving the energy, man. Hey, look, this is gonna be a good show, y'all. So as y'all already know, this is the Saints' second division game. This is our first division game. And what a way to end off the first month with a rivalry game of this magnitude.
It's a big one.
Falcons, Saints. So Nathan, since you are the guest of our show, I want you to go ahead and give us your thoughts of what you've seen from the Saints so far this season and how have you felt about the team.
Okay, I live in the great city of Memphis, Tennessee, so the only way I've been able to watch the Saints the first couple weeks of the year is they've been on prime time, which is nice. And so, it's a big contrast. 90-something points your first 2 games, and to come out there last game against a good Philadelphia Eagles team. This is probably a playoff Eagles team. Let's not act like we're getting beat by the Cardinals or somebody out here right now. So, I mean, we played a good team, but 12 points after what I saw early, like those first 2 weeks, when Eric McCoy went down, like that first drive, I was like, oh, mess. Good thing is we playing y'all, and y'all are third worst in the league at getting to the quarterback so far. Your pressure rate is third worst in the league. And so I'm not really worried about y'all got guys, but with Eric McCoy out, he's at least 1 week where Derek Carr probably be fine. So if we can keep him upright, like he looked bad last week under pressure though. It was rough. Derek Carr with defenders in his face is like he's bad. He ain't Zach Wilson bad, but he bad under pressure. So if y'all can get after him, y'all got a chance right there. But I mean, my keys of the game, I think, would be let's see how this Saints offense looks. Y'all got an offense. I seen Kirk Cousins. Kirk Chains are playing. He doing his thing, but we're gonna see.
All right. So, Mike, since you already had to look like you wanted to say something, man.
I want Jew to go. I plead the fifth on this. I plead the fifth. Okay.
Go ahead, Drew. What you got for us?
Y'all want me to just talk about my early thoughts or give my key to victory? One key to victory.
Hey, do whatever. Do it. Hey, the floor is open. However you want to attack it.
Okay, well, I'll just start with this. And I said this on What's the Word Tuesday. When it comes to the Saints, my first main thing that I'm focused on is just stopping number 41, Alvin Kamara. He's the straw that stirs the drink over there on that offense. If you can stop him and limit his ability to catch the ball and run the ball and dominate in the trenches, their offensive line, I really feel like the Falcons will win this game. I'm not afraid of Derek Carr. He did start off the season really hot, but they played the Panthers and the Cowboys, which we see both of those defenses are not good. So to be honest, I really feel like in this game, it's going to be the stopping the Alvin Kamara show. Stop Alvin Kamara, limit Chris Olave. And if we do that, I'm not too concerned. Like I said, if Derek Carr can beat us by, putting up points and throwing the football, I want the ball in his hands in this game. I don't want to allow Alvin Kamara to get off in this game. I don't want him to have 150 all-purpose yards rushing and catching. So if you look at the Cowboys game, which you guys know, Teacher Red is a Dallas Cowboys fan. We watched that whole game. and pretty much Alvin Kamara ran the Cowboys out the stadium. You know, he had 4 touchdowns in that game. So I really feel like that opens up everything. And the Saints, to be honest, they play a similar style to the Atlanta Falcons. Let's be honest. They use their running game to open up the pass. So I really feel like Alvin Kamara is the guy that we have to focus on in this game. If we can stop him, I'm not too concerned with Derek Carr. And maybe Derek Carr can make me eat my words, but I'm not afraid of Derek Carr. I really feel like he had what he did the first 2 weeks, I think, is an admiration. I don't think that he can consistently beat you with having if you put the ball in his hands, I don't think he can consistently beat us. And with the guys that we have on our back end, the Jesse Bates, the Justin Simmons, I think those guys is licking their chops. And you guys already seen what I did early in the show when he said about our pass rush. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all go.
I mean, go ahead, y'all.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Nah,
counter that.
As I was thinking about, you talk about our running game, right? You talk about stopping AK, big threat, right? But as I'm sitting here and listening to you, I'm like, Taysom Hill didn't even play last week. See, like that's an element of our offense. I think that might have been one of the so when they started bottling up Alvin, right? Because they clearly started stopping him. So they laid a blueprint, you can do it. But if we had Taysom in some of those third and short yardage, Taysom is a bigger threat in those situations. So maybe with Taysom out there, we convert a few more. Maybe we score one or two more drives, win that ball game. So it's not just Alvin on the offense you got to worry about. But I do agree with you. If you stop Alvin, I mean, is Derek Carr going to go out there and beat you if you're not setting up the play action downfield to Shaheed? Like Chris Olave is a good wide receiver, but is he going to be consistently open? Is Foster Moreau going to be in the flat? Love Foster, big LSU, love Foster as an LSU fan, but is he going to be there? We don't know.
All right, Don. Go ahead, man. What? How you want to follow that up, man?
All right, so I'm looking at the Saints. Who all they played so far? They played Carolina, played Dallas, and they played Philadelphia last week. Now, what separates those 3 teams from the Falcons? They secondary is not good as ours. So the Saints receivers, they gonna be in for a long day with us. And again, what Drew said earlier about Kamara, if we can stop Kamara, we good. Like we know our defense is gonna have a field day Sunday. So that's what I'm looking for is our secondary just pretty much shutting everything down in the air. And then all we need is our front 7 to contain Alvin Kamara. And we good.
All right. Mike, I see you looking to the left. Now you're looking straight ahead. What you got for me?
I think the matchup for me personally and the key is obviously how the Saints middle of their offensive line is going to contain on your mama and Grady Jarrett. And quite recently, you look at but Taquan Graham, he's one of those guys that's been stepping up a little bit. He's been, I wouldn't necessarily say pushed around, but his technique needs to be a little bit more consistent as a defensive tackle. He does have the size, but I think one of the things with him, he uses a lot of athleticism to be a factor in the running game. So for me personally, you have who is the center for you guys right now?
So that's the problem. It's like after Eric McCoy, does it even matter?
So y'all can't move Cesar Ruza to the center?
I mean, we could, but I mean, Trevor Penning's a liability no matter where you have to move him. If you have to move him, now that I never understood his draft pick then, and the undisciplinedness we've continued to see it blocking way far out of bounds. Like that's a big loss losing your starting center, an all-pro caliber center, on a team that is shaky on the O-line and has looked surprisingly good through 2 weeks. A lot of that is Pete Carmichael's scheme.
About
not Pete Carmichael, but
that's
Kubiak. Excuse me, my bad. So used to hearing that name for so long in New Orleans,
I,
12 years.
yeah, and that's really it. I think the matchup for me personally, on the key to victory is how the middle of the offensive line for the Saints, how those guys are going to contain Grady Jarrett, because Grady Jarrett, he looked real good, man. And David Onyemata has really been consistent. He's looking for a new contract himself. So, Grady Jarrett, Onyemata, and you have Taquan Graham, who's been there. Eddie Goldman, surprisingly, like he's been pretty consistent as far as when he's in there. He does his job stopping the run. So I think that's the battle that I'm focusing on, and I think that's a huge key, because each one of these teams, if you stop the Falcons defensive tackles on Yamada and Grady, you're gonna have a good day. If you don't, you're gonna have a long day.
And Nathan kind of said a key point here, and this is kind of like a key that I give both teams, is who's going to be the more disciplined. Um, like you said, we got a lot of young guys on here, and we got a few guys that may not. Well, pretty much everybody kind of knows the rivalry and stuff like that, and we know how chippy these games can get. And the thing, and like he said with Trevor Penning getting flagged for goofy shit. Like you said, we have to avoid Jake Matthews from getting damn flags when we don't need to get flags. But
Yeah.
but like you said, this is gonna be an ugly game because we let one slip away against Kansas City. New Orleans feel like they didn't bring their A game, so this is gonna be one of those games. Was it the unstoppable versus the immovable?
Man,
Who's gonna drop first? And that's all I got. Because at the end of the day, trenches matter.
period.
This game is gonna prove it.
You got to win in the trenches in the National Football League. You have to be able to run the ball too.
Right.
Y'all can. We got so far. Like if you look at the Saints defense, I like the way our defense has been playing. Marshawn Lattimore played last week, and it was good to see him back out there. When he was at his peak, he was a top 5 corner in football. I still think he's a top 10 corner in football. We know one thing: he still owns Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. You know who hadn't done a damn thing against in his career? Marshawn Lattimore.
But
But
he did something to Marshall Lattimore. He called, try to fight him in the game. I saw that, but that was about it.
nah, you always want to fight when you're losing. But it's always a rivalry. Like as long as I've been a Saints fan, man, it's like the Falcons. It's like that's the bitterest rivalry we've got. Like for whatever reason, it's a college rivalry almost. Like it's almost like the Iron Bowl, but for an NFL division. Like y'all can't stand us, we can't stand y'all, and we take one. I mean, what 9 times out of 10 we split the series anyway during the season. We gonna get one, y'all gonna get one. It's just like when are we gonna beat the Falcons? Typically, it's early. Typically, that early game we beat the shit out of y'all. Like typically, but it's not a typical season. The Saints defense.
I don't like the tone in your voice. You said that. You said great.
You said you want a rebuttal on that, Mike?
No, man, Mike is no. This is D over here.
Saints jersey. I know what I got coming around here.
Here's the thing. Ain't nothing wrong with a little trash talk. Like you said, we can handle it over here.
I was in the Ole Miss student section as an LSU fan on the road in Oxford. Like, talk about crazy. Like, I love college football. Now, did my fiance get hit in the head with a beer can from 15 rows up? Fool, yes, she did. But when your daddy's paying for your school, you can afford to throw a $15 bill. Some of us can't. Some of us can. I got to drink a $15 bill. Wow. I can't be throwing it.
Wow.
It's that raw. I love football, man. It's that time of year again. It's
a
few short months and then it's gone again. And as an LSU baseball fan, I got a lot of hope for 2025. But I don't know how y'all feel about baseball, but I'm an all sports guy, except for
baseball too.
Yes.
Braves fans, I assume all y'all.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Jews is Reds.
I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan.
Hey, you know what's cool? We went to Cincinnati a few months ago, man. I got to tour Great American Ballpark. It's the first
Mhm.
ballpark I've ever went to, like Major League Ballpark.
Okay.
Really
Mhm.
cool. Shout out to Mr. Bob at Great American Ballpark. Bob, you put on a hell of a tour, my guy.
Hey, look, man. Hopefully we all get some more experiences like that as well too. Cause I wouldn't mind.
I'm long overdue for a Brady game. I'm long overdue. Good God.
I've never been to Busch Stadium. Been to Memphis Redbirds games 1,000 times in my life, but never been to Busch Stadium.
Oh wow, wow.
You
Yeah,
better
yeah.
be
I
ready.
said, I want to take the trip to Fenway so I could talk shit about that stupid ass green monster. But
You don't like the Green Monster? Come on now. The pumpkin.
what's the what's the purpose?
Well,
You
because
can't, you
back in
can't,
the
you,
day when that ballpark was built, they didn't hit the ball 500 dadgum feet. Babe Ruth was half drunk out there on hot dogs and hitting the ball
he damn sure will, boy.
like,
I'd have seen them documentaries, boy. That boy was drinking before them games. I
man.
was like, man. But let's go ahead and get right into this matchup, man. So we're gonna pretty much talk about X factors. We've already kind of got the keys out the way. We're gonna start talking about X factors here. Um, as far as who are you looking forward to be that breakout star? Now, Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick us off with this.
Man, this this um this is difficult to be honest. Uh each I want I want to say Kyle Pitts, man. I want to say Kyle Pitts because seeing what Dallas Goddard did against them, it was pretty impressive, and he was open quite a bit. One of the things I know about what I've seen personally from the Saints is they didn't generate a lot of pressure with their front four. It was mostly from a lot of blitzes. And I think with a guy like Kirk Cousins, man, you have to be really sure that you're going to get there if you're going to blitz him because he can make those plays to the guys. Obviously, with Mooney and Ray McLeod, those guys have been our big time. I'm talking about big time playmakers. Those guys have been all over the place. And then you have a guy with Kyle Pitts. You know, they're getting there. They're getting there. They're slowly gaining that chemistry. But I think you have to be really, really careful blitzing Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins, because Kyle Pitts is a monster. If you leave him one on one with too many guys, obviously we saw on that play. I don't know who exactly that was, but for whatever reason, I don't know what that DB was thinking, but he got a little bit too physical with Kyle, and Kyle just shoved him aside, and he went for the big play. So I think you really have to you really gotta. I'm focused on Kyle Pitts because, like I said, man, this is a tight end. Okay, let me clear this up because I've been wanting to say this. He's a tight end, people. Okay, expect tight ends to not touch the ball a lot. Okay. A lot of the time you may get 2 to 3 targets in a game because you're a tight end. Okay. I want people to know that. Yes, he is a terrific athlete, but he's still a tight end. Okay. But he can make those big plays that we want down the field. Okay. So that's the thing. I think Jew kind of elaborated on what's the word where they need to use him a little bit more like a tight end. Yes, he can make those big plays, but use him on those short yards, those curls, those slant routes. Use his big frame. All right, so that's my thing, man. He's a tight end. I want everybody to understand that he's a tight end. Yes, he's very big, he's fast, but he's a tight end.
All right, all right. So Let you go ahead and give us your X factor. Um, and I'm gonna let Nathan go ahead and go right after Jew. Um, who are you looking for? Like I said, who are you looking for to have that big special game, Jew?
So I think this is a game for you guys already know. Yeah, it's that time. I think you heard him talk about Trevor Penning. Wherever Trevor Penning lining up, I'm saying number 15 go line up over number wherever Trevor Penning is. That's why I want him lining up over because I really feel like Matthew Judon gonna have a big game, and this he's gonna have a big game because Derek Carr is not the most fleet of foot. Like the first couple games, we had guys like Hurts. They're not gonna wait around. So a lot of the times when even Onyemata, he had an opportunity to make a sack, but it's just like we were playing quarterbacks that were they gonna get out of the pocket. They're gonna take one hitch. If it ain't there, they're gonna take off and run. And Derek Carr is not a guy that is gonna necessarily just take off and run. He's gonna sit there in the pocket and look for somebody to break open. He's not really a mobile. I don't consider him a mobile quarterback. Can he move? Yes, but he can get tracked down by the guys that we have. So I really feel like in this game, you're gonna see them run games up front, which gonna create pressure. But I think Judon is gonna have a big game because they're gonna have to hold on to the ball because our secondary is playing really well. And when you're holding on to the ball, the two basically marry up. So the back end, if they're covering really well, that's the reason why Jalen Hurts and those guys were taking off and running. I'm not worried about Derek Carr beating me with his legs and picking up first downs consistently. Now, if they play Taysom Hill, as he mentioned earlier, on which I know Taysom Hill, from my understanding, has been banged up. If they play Taysom Hill, he's a guy that can get out and escape and things of that nature. But of course, their starting quarterback is Derek Carr. So I really feel like Judon, I expect him to have 2 sacks in this game, maybe a strip sack, because I really feel like he's going to be able to get pressure at will. Now, I've been very surprised with the Saints offensive line because going into the season, they were horrible in the preseason. So I thought that their
Yeah.
offensive line was really bad, but they played better than I expected them to play, this so far this season. But I mentioned this in What's the Word as well. I don't know if that's based off of who they've played so far this season, meaning they just haven't really played any really good defenses. But I really feel like we're gonna find out who the real Saints are this week because I feel like our Falcons defense is legit. So Matthew Judon is the guy that I think is going to be the X factor in this game. I really feel like he's going to create pressure nonstop, and because him and Grady Jarrett, those guys motor run hot. They don't give up on plays. He's going to have a sack in this game because he never stops running all game long. He's running, making tackles 10 yards down the field. Like Judon's one of those guys. Him and Grady, they don't give up on plays. So I feel like Judon will have 2 sacks in this game.
I respect it. I think you're going to be able to get after the quarterback a little bit. I don't think he's just going to rush at will, like you said. But I'm gonna give you 2 X factors. I'm gonna give you an offensive X factor and a defensive X factor because I think the Saints are gonna need 2 of them to win this game. I think
Okay.
I've talked about Taysom Hill a little bit already tonight. I think Taysom Hill needs to be every bit that he can be for us this week. I think missing him last week was a big factor, especially on those 3rd and short downs. I know that Derek Carr is a guy that in the past I have definitely been a big fan of. Now, has he shown me? But see, down the stretch last year, he was playing as well as any quarterback in the National Football League. The last 6 weeks of the season, he was that guy. And so last week, I think, was a setback, but it's time for the get back against the Falcons. I want Taysom Hill to make as many plays as he can. I know the Falcons got game. I know it ain't going to be easy to do it. And that's why I think that Cam Jordan needs to be our defensive X factor because he's a guy that has played in this rivalry. He knows how this rivalry is. Nobody sacked a quarterback more in NFL history than he sacked Matt Ryan. Quarterback's different. Colors are the same. I think Kirk Cochain's back there looks similar enough to Matt Ryan. Cam Jordan's going to know what he's got to do. Go get that dirty bird quarterback. The defensive intensity's got to be there. Y'all got weapons. You talked about Kyle Pitts being a tight end. You talked about Dallas Goedert gashing my Saints defense for 27 fantasy points. Ain't that poor about it? I won my matchup. Thank you, Dallas Goedert. Career day for you was beneficial to me. So I'll take it. And the Saints missed opportunities too. Like Taysom is so crucial in different aspects. I mean, it's him and Cam Jordan. Cam's got to bring the energy. said publicly, it's out there. The clips are there. Cam Jordan talked about this as a Super Bowl caliber team. We'll go out there and beat the shit out the Falcons and prove it. Early test.
All right, go ahead, Don.
I'm sorry, I had technical difficulties. What was the topic again?
I said, who is your X factor for this game?
I'm gonna say Kyle Pitts.
You got 2 for Kyle Pitts.
I'm gonna say Kyle Pitts because y'all run defense has been looking good this year
so far,
and not saying that we still gonna have a good day on the ground, but I feel like spreading y'all linebackers out and doing that with Kyle Pitts, if we can get him started, I think we'll be fine this week.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, my X factor, I'm gonna surprise a lot of people. But I'm gonna have to say Mike Hughes on this, just for the simple fact, um, the deep ball has worked for New Orleans this first couple weeks of this season.
Khalid Rashid. Why the heck? What's his name? Khalid Rashid. Rashid. Like
Shaheed. That's how to say it right. Shaheed. Yeah.
The
Shaheed.
last
Yeah.
game it didn't work. Why? Because they got after him.
Yeah.
If you're right, you know, like if you're right, then Derek Carr's in for a long day, man. Like,
Right. Yeah.
It's just always a physical game when we play y'all, bro. They don't like, these are grown ass men that do not like other professional ass grown ass just because the city and the colors that they're wearing, bro. This is like college rivalry type vibes with the Falcons, man.
It's like this Crips and blood, bro.
Yeah, it's
it really is.
college, bro.
It really is. It really is. But like you said, it ain't as like you said the competitiveness between the two is the fun part. But when you start taking that little extra shit outside where it don't need to be, that's what it needs. That's that y'all need to sit y'all goofy asses down type shit right there.
That's how I feel about CJ Gardner Johnson. Why don't you like? You were running that trap, dude.
I don't like that dude.
You talking about the barking chihuahua slipping? He been slipping and slide this first 3 weeks anyway. So
man, I'm telling you, he ain't good enough to be talking like that. Like you weren't just boys with these guys. Like, come on now.
exactly. But yeah, I think Mike Hughes definitely gonna have to be an X factor because I know they're gonna pretty much try to match AJ Terrell up against Chris Olave. And we kind of know how the 2 deep shell safety they may go with here, but the Saints are going to still try to take that deep shot no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Hughes gonna have to hold up against Shaheed. So we're gonna see how that matchup plays up. But
over the last couple of years, man, the only person with more deep ball touchdowns than Raheed is damn Tyreek Hill. So that's how good the guy is. Like last week we didn't even see it. Like the one ball Derek threw to him was off his back foot under pressure.
Exactly. We got a question for you, Nathan. Here. Do you think Derek Carr is playing at his best right now?
I think we scored 92 points in the first 2 weeks of the season. This is a rivalry game, so yeah, I think yeah. Win one game, I'll call that one game because we're going into the 4th week of the season as an outlier. Because if you go back to the end of last season, I would consider that game an outlier. I think losing Eric McCoy, the starting center, the first drive of the game was massive, and it was a massive blow. It's not like it was a benefit. Losing Eric McCoy, not having Taysom Hill, not being as versatile as you could be, not being as you're not putting as much stress on the defense without Taysom Hill out there on 3rd and whatever. The man can throw the ball. The man can catch the ball. He's officially listed as a tight end, but the man's a Swiss Army knife and he's everywhere. So I think Derek Carr is playing his best football, but it starts with the setup of everything else too. Like,
Okay. I like that. I like that. So we're gonna kind of switch it up here a little bit, and instead of just the X factors for your teams, as a Saints fan, who would you be more worried about as far as the Falcon side of things? Like, who do you not want to see go off?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This might be not the best thing to say to a Falcons show in a Saints jersey, and just as a representative of who that. I got two of y'all starters on my offense, bro. So like, and I got money on the line in this fantasy league. That's why I don't like fantasy football, bro. Because like, man, if Bijan and Drake London go off, I'm gonna have a good day in one aspect. But if the Saints lose, bro, I'm gonna be
We
over
gonna
here.
be
My old lady doing something, so I'm just gonna be at the house chilling. I'm gonna be here by myself. Saints gonna be losing, but I'm gonna be winning. Oh, Drake London has 30 damn points, 4 touchdowns. Like, I'd be cool with it if Drake London and Bijan got they bread, but we eke out like a field goal or something. So yeah, Bijan, your whole offense, man, is stacked. Like the fact that y'all had Artie Smith as your OC, and he did to the Falcons what he did to the Falcons, and he's got Justin Fields looking good, makes no sense to me right now. Like, how does Justin Fields look good with the same offense where he had way better weapons with Kyle Pitts, who we've talked about, Bijan, who's cold, Drake London's cold, Kirk, like the Falcons got a damn good. Like, honestly, I think y'all can win the division. I think you will win the division. Like, when you got a dude that was in our camp, man. He was in our camp. We couldn't get the bag done, and he just goes over to Atlanta, signs with the Falcons. Like when Terry, y'all got better on defense. The Falcons look like they're the best team in the division. Y'all need to win the division on paper.
Mm.
hey, well, hold on, go ahead, Don.
I'm just uh,
Like
one
let's
player
be real.
to go off for the Saints, and I know Grady Jarrett will probably be in trouble for this. Is Caesar Ruza? I don't want to see him go off.
Says that you don't need him plugging up and
Yeah,
preventing the rush.
I don't need to see Caesar Ruza go off, but I know he have a good game for the Saints.
Okay, okay. What you got? What you got, Drew?
I mean, I already mentioned who I think is who has the opportunity to go off. It's AK, but I mean, outside of AK, I just really feel like it probably with Chris Olave because every time we play them, they always try to move him around. So AJ is not following him. And last year, he made a couple big plays in that last game, the last game of the season against Clark Phillips. So I mean, he's a route technician, so he's similar to Calvin Ridley. He's one of those guys that's a really good route runner. So you're not going to stop him necessarily. He's going to make catches, whether he may not make the catch the deep bomb, over top because we have the safety help. But he's a guy that you're not going to be able to stop because he's a route technician. So if Derek Carr is accurate with the ball, he'll be able to get his catches in this game. Now, I don't know if he'll score a touchdown, but I feel like they're going to try to put him in the slot. They're going to try to move him around. And I don't know if AJ Terrell is going to follow him, like, and shadow him everywhere he goes. So if he doesn't travel, then he may be matched up against D. Alford, where he has if he's in the inside, he can break in or out if they put him in the slot. So they do a lot of things to try to get him open. So I'll say Chris Olave. Outside of AK, it'll be Chris Olave. I think he's the guy that I'll be worried about if I'm the Falcons.
Mm. Oh man, so Mike, I'll let you go ahead and get this one, and then we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch it to the next subject. Um, X5. Well, I know you've already said Kyle Pitts. Is there anybody else you're looking at?
No, so Hill. That's all. That's all. I just don't see him do anything. I hope he twists his ankle, on a piece of cabbage or a damn a dead sea monkey or something down there. I don't want him doing anything. So the Hill would take some no saw Hill.
That's
That's
all
it.
right.
But
We didn't have a 28 to 3.
I just want him to be out for a week. That's sweet.
Now,
Uh,
I will want to say this: whoever's attending,
Oh, he can mess up his toenail, like, you know what I'm saying, like where he can fuck up a toenail.
Hey, don't say that. Michael Thomas hurt his toe one time and ain't played since. So
I forgot about that. I forgot about that, man.
Damn, I forgot about Michael
What?
Thomas.
he's a free agent, by the way. There are 32 franchises that could give him a call. He was on pace to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver till his injury.
Well, that's how you do everything. But it,
That Drew Brees is a wizard, boy. I'll just say that. That damn Drew Brees is a wizard.
the X factor of this game too. Who all the Falcons fans that's gonna be piling in into Mercedes-Benz Stadium, man, get y'all asses up out y'all seats and make some damn noise and be ruthless. We need y'all to be cheering. We need y'all to be loud and disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying? Fought in their face or something. God damn.
Out here giving folks pink eye, man. That's how you roll right here.
That's messed up. That's messed up, man.
Rude at some point. Getting God on
You
my.
just got him in school, you get pink eye, then you messing with sick days. But I can't be messing with sick days. Come on now.
Ain't worth two dead fly smash. All right, man, we gonna all right, we gonna switch it up here a little bit. We're gonna get more so on the historical side of things, man. Now, Nathan, like I said, I see you got the Drew Brees jersey on, like you said, man. I know he's one of your favorite players. What was your initial thought when you found out that news that Drew Brees was gonna be a Saint? Because as we already kind of knew around that time when he was in San Diego, they didn't know if his career was going to last as long. So he ended up.
I was 5, so I'll tell you from the perspective that I have now, and that's looking back on it. I'm going to hit you kind of with a butterfly effect a little bit. Those doctors in Miami saying they did not want Drew Brees, they didn't think he was good. Him going to New Orleans changed the face of football history in the National Football League and in college football forever. Those doctors made a decision with everything else that ended up playing out. Because think about it, Drew Brees goes to Miami, Nick Saban never goes to Bama and builds a dynasty. Never goes. Because think about it, Drew Brees was going to be Drew Brees. And I feel like with the GOAT, he could have done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Sean Payton is influential in Drew Brees. Like, Sean Payton matters in the equation with Drew Brees, but we saw what happened without Drew. Drew mattered a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm hyped looking back on it now. I just think about it, how crazy it is. Like I was a kid, so, I wasn't like up to date on it, but that one decision from some doctors changed football forever.
Yeah, because it kind of caught me off guard because I know they were talking about Drew Brees to Miami was like the surefire guarantee. Then when you found out that they flipped it to Dante Culpepper, it was like,
wow.
Yeah.
like you said, Nick Saban said, bullshit, I'm going back to college.
And also, I want to add what you said about the doctors. Like, if Breeze would have stayed, the whole scope of the AFC East would have changed too.
Mm-hmm.
Breeze versus
Brady,
and twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Dude.
Yeah.
Belichick versus Saban, like, yeah.
But like you said, the Matt Ryan versus Drew Brees battles damn show that was some shit right there for us too.
Man.
But as I talk with the rest of my brothers here, man, like you said, I know this is hate week. I know we ain't supposed. I know this is gonna be a hard pill to swallow type of question here, but over the years, who are some of the Saints players that y'all could say that y'all hated to love to watch? And Mike, I'm gonna start with you.
I'm not gonna say a safe player. I love to see that man dark bald head on the sidelines, smiling and giggling and all that type of stuff. I just love to see my boy. Who is that boy, K-Style? Anybody want to take a wild guess who that guy is?
Jimmy Graham.
Hmm.
He bald headed.
Gary Fontenot. Gary Fontenot, boy. I love to see him all time, boy. Right Terry Fontenot.
You ain't worth the day. You ain't worth the he just flipped it. He caught me off guard with that one. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. That man said, ball head there fine no. You're like really? All right, all right, Don. What you got? What you got on this?
All right, my favorite Saints player that I like all time gotta be Paul Seal.
And exactly why that is.
Oh boy.
He was on the Saints' best tight ends.
And
There's no other end.
and
Oh yeah,
Another case,
okay.
there's another and.
He played for Bo Schembech's Michigan team back in the
there
day.
we go. That's
Oh, he's a Michigan man. No.
that's what we were waiting on right there. No, but hey, like I said, that's kind of the running joke on here. Everybody's anytime we ask somebody has Don whose favorite player on another team is always a Michigan player, and the people always go crazy about it. They look like
Everybody that ever played on the NFL team and what it.
Mhm.
but
Man, what?
what's up? What you got to say on that day?
No, I just y'all are cool folks, man. It's a cool little vibe, man. So like, that's what football's about, man. It's
Right.
just about, you know,
Right.
we can talk all that shit on game day. We'll sit here and have a conversation. Why? Because football brings folks together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Jew, what you got on there, man?
I had to go look up some Saints players because I hate saying anything positive about the Saints, but I think I would say Reggie Bush, and it's not when he was necessarily on the Saints. It was his collegiate career. Like I think it's not too many people that can hate on him. You know, now he got his Heisman back, but I felt like they should have never took his Heisman. When he was at USC, it was just like he was must-see TV. So when he came in the league, I kind of like wanted him to do well until he was drafted by the Saints. But he was just one of those guys that was just electrifying. He was one of those guys that I think he was must-see TV when he was in college. So I'll say Reggie Bush. You know, some of the guys that they had that were greats, I can't even like them, like Jimmy Graham and those teams. I couldn't stand Drew Brees. I couldn't stand Jimmy Graham. Just for the mere fact I respected their games. I just didn't like them. Let's just be honest. I just didn't like them just because they played for the Saints. But I mean, I respect their greatness and things of that nature. But I'll say Reggie Bush because to me, he's underrated. He didn't have the NFL career that a lot of people thought he would have based off of his collegiate career. But definitely when he was in college, like he was always must-see TV.
He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But hey, man, this is a hard one for me because, like I said, I'm kind of like you. I'm like, man, get them damn Saints. But it's one player on that Saints team that I always, actually, it's two of them that I always said I had the utmost respect for, and that was Deuce McAllister and Marcus Colston.
Thank you. I'm gonna ask y'all about a couple other guys, but thank you for saying Marcus's name, bro. One of the most underrated wide receivers of the 2010s, bro. Was a damn dog.
That motherfucker got on my nerves every damn game. See, but like I said, for those that may not know Marcus Colston, I kind of followed his career at Hofstra. I don't know how the hell that happened, but like you said, he was one of those tight ends converted to wide receiver, and for some reason, Chris Houston couldn't guard him. He was a matchup nightmare. I ain't gonna tell you no lie on that, especially from that wide receiver, because I know they kind of went through the Dante Stallworths and the Devery Hendersons, and they was trying to find that other wide receiver opposite Joe Horn, and it didn't pan out. But it was like this undrafted guy out of Hofstra just come in and 1,300 yards a season. I'm like,
One of
I
the
gotta
most,
respect the hustle.
one of the most underrated wide receivers of his era. Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite Saints of all time. I will want to ask y'all about a couple of guys. Were y'all Darren Sproles guys at all? Y'all like Darren Sproles' game when he was a Saint?
And that little son of a whoa, he got on my last nerve. He
Good
couldn't.
old good old Pierre Thomas too, man. Can't forget about Pierre.
Yeah, but that Darren Sproles just got on my nerve. Like the fourth down, he always picks it up. Oh my God! He drove me insane. I could not stand that little son of a gun. Good gosh! But that dude, man, like I said, he's that was kind of one of the reasons why I think the Atlanta Falcons drafted Robinson, because they've had the Reggie Bush, they had the Darren Sproles, and they know how important. Obviously, they have Kamara now, but they have those running backs that are multifaceted. They're not just running backs; these guys are receivers. They can catch the ball out of the backfield, and you guys are kind of, I'll say, you made it cool to have running backs that have multiple skills. So I'll say that. Okay, that's the
I think that started with Reggie. I think Reggie Bush, when your expectations are what they are, man, I wish I was a little bit older than I was. Like college football before, the year I was born up until like 2007 was like peak college football, and I wish I was a little bit older to have watched some of those games and like been a teenager during some of those like early like 2000s SEC games, man, because like Reggie Bush in college, your expectations are basically what, hang the moon or you're a bust. So like won a Super Bowl.
Right. But I'm glad you said college football.
okay. Look. You wanted some excitement. Watch USC. Reggie Bush, USC. Oh my God, boy, you will never do.
Reggie Bush, it was Reggie Bush, it was Lendale White, it was Steve Smith, it
Mike
was Mike
Williams.
Williams.
Come on,
Gee.
man. It
Um,
was loaded.
yeah, exactly. But since we're going down the road of college football, it was a question that I was, and I'm gonna give a shout out to this podcast, the Raw Room. They kind of had this discussion here.
Hey,
I
my
want to
guy
get it.
Jalen Collins, man.
Look. I gotta ask everybody this question: who do you choose between the 2019 LSU Tigers or the '01 Miami Hurricanes?
Whoa.
Jalen Collins asked this question, man. He's a friend
That's
of
why
the
I
Destiny Sports
asked.
program, man. He I really, it's crazy for me. Like God is really making all this stuff come full circle. Like 10 years ago, Jalen Collins led LSU in pass breakups, and he's been, we interviewed him on Talking Tigers like week 3. He popped in on the Raw Room like podcast live on TikTok or whatever at the end of the LSU South Carolina game, because like Jalen's that dude. Give me LSU, but it's close-ish. Like it's 10 points or less, man.
Okay. What you got on that, Don? What you thinking? And this is a question that everybody that's watching can get their thoughts on it too. What you
Look,
thinking, Don?
see, I've heard the conversations. We know the 2001 Miami Hurricanes are proclaimed the best team of all time, and then 5 years ago, LSU, won their natty. But recently, Michigan is also in that same conversation as well. So
I'm gonna walk away on that one, Don.
again, I'm gonna say defense wise, because I'm a defensive guy. It's neck and neck. I'm gonna say that LSU offense is gonna be shut down by Miami. Just saying. And
This man just go
I'm
just
just
sit
saying.
here. He just go sit here and he just go throw Michigan in a comment.
Michigan is
I
one of
agree
the
with you on that one.
if you look at the stats from last year, we
I
had
didn't Georgia now. They said I'm talking about. They had one of the best defenses and point differential in college history. And you just gonna throw Michigan, who ain't break no
go
damn
look at the stats from last year. Go look at Michigan stats from last year. You will see what I'm talking about.
They ain't do it in the SEC. It don't count.
We beat Alabama. We beat
You ain't
Alabama.
playing SEC schedule, brother. It don't count. It's
It
null
don't
and
matter. Look,
void.
we took care of business, man. Come on now, stop. Cause we beat Ohio State. We beat Penn State
You think
on the
you
road.
on top of the world, eating on the cinnamon square? Like
10 Auburn beats that Michigan team. Come on.
No,
Super
stop.
Cam.
No, stop. Bama didn't beat us. We beat Penn State on the road. We beat Ohio State, and this was without Jim Harbaugh, by the way. We had Sharon Moore coaching. Like, just saying. Like,
Bama beat themselves, Don. Bama beat
no,
themselves.
stop.
That was,
Can we not do that? A win is a win. We beat Bama.
the scoreboard says you won. I beg to differ. I call bullshit. Bama beat
We
themselves,
beat
and we
Bama.
know it.
We beat Bama, and Bama. We made some mistakes in that game, and Bama didn't capitalize. So again, we went out there. We took care of business. Nobody gave us a chance in that game. Nobody.
I got a question. I got a question for
you.
you. Are you warming your popcorn up right now? Because this is funny.
I'm trying to get it back to answering the question.
All right, man. Go ahead, Drew. What you got on it?
oh
This is
boy,
my question. This is my question for the whole panel. What rules we playing by? Are we playing the 0-1 rules where it wasn't no targeting, where they can literally knock your chin strap off? Because if we talking about the 0-1 rules, I'm taking the Miami Hurricanes. Ed Reed. I was looking up that roster. If you can just come across the middle if you want to, Jamar Chase and all these guys that are in the league now, playing with those rules, they would have knocked some guys out the game. So they wouldn't have had to worry about it. So I would say the Miami Hurricanes. But if we say we're playing by today's rules where you can't touch nobody, if you target somebody, you getting thrown out the game, a lot of them guys on Miami would have been kicked out the game before the game was even over. So it depends on what rules and style you playing. If you playing those rules back then, we know how those Miami teams, how physical the game was. No disrespect to the guys nowadays. They're trying to make the game safer, but they would have knocked a couple of those guys out of the game to make sure they would have won the game. So I would take the 0-1 Miami Hurricanes in that instance.
game day. Look, he dang sure ain't gonna want to get hit. Okay.
Yeah, like you said, LSU. Like you said,
E.B.
LSU.
Reed, boy.
Like it's like
Chase, he getting on my nerves how he acting right now. He really disappointed me.
yeah. But like you said, 2019 LSU with Burrow, Hilaire, and all that. Like you said, that was a very explosive offense. Like you didn't really see. I think because what they did, they broke the record for most points of the season for a team. Am I correct? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I just wanted to make sure I got my
Two of
facts
the
right
top
on that.
5 wide receivers in football were on the roster. Two of the current walked into the league as top 5 wide receivers in football. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Super Bowl champion. Joe Burrow played in a Super Bowl. The way the Bengals look right now, he ain't getting back. But Bengals, man, the way they look right now, you talk about you don't like the way Jamar acting. I understand why T. Higgins was acting like that. But T. Higgins could not go to another team and be the dog number 1 he thinks he is, in my opinion. I would love to bring him to the Saints. We need him. We would, like, if the Saints got another weapon and like a basically kind of the same role as he has now, just in these colors, not their colors, I would love T. Higgins.
Okay. Hey, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with Joe that it's just gonna depend on what the rules. Oh, like you said, the one thing about that Miami Hurricane team that I had to recently look up is they said if they didn't score not one offensive point that whole year, they still would have won 9 games, which is insane to me. But like you said, at the same time, they was able to out physical everybody on defense. I mean,
And
we already know
intimidate
about
everybody.
Ken Dorsey. And hell, they
Yeah.
intimidate everybody on offense. You think about it. Yeah. Clem Portis, Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, Najee Davenport in their backfield, Andre Johnson. And then
Jeremy
Shockey, Kellen Winslow, and whatever the fuck that quarterback is, Ken Dorsey, whatever. But like you said, if it's today's rules, I don't know.
Yeah,
You might
yeah.
not even get them
Today's
to
rules
play in the
would be
game
tough.
with today's
Yeah,
rules.
yeah, nah. I'd have seen Sean Taylor knock folks out of games.
Rest in peace.
My favorite player, one of my favorite players of all time.
Oh,
But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get to the question part of things. Like I said, people watching, we definitely appreciate y'all, man. So, like I said, we got a few more minutes. If y'all want to ask Nathan some more questions, go ahead and
Man,
put them in the chat. Um,
you ready
You
to
want
play with
to,
me again?
I'm surprised you ain't came up with a food section yet.
I'm
Where the
not,
food at?
I was waiting for you, man. I was
All right, okay. So, we're gonna go ahead and get to the big back portion of the show, which
My,
I am a member of.
not
Duh.
my right now because I'm about to be hungry, so I'm gonna just get something to tie me over for the time.
so so Nate. All right, so we already talked before the show came on about you have ties in New Orleans, but you really ain't been down there like that. Um,
Yeah.
so you live in Memphis,
Yes,
and
sir.
I've been to Memphis several times.
Okay.
So, and y'all known for the barbecue.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's your favorite barbecue joint in Memphis?
Okay. Like I like the Rendezvous. That's kind of a cop out answer. Central's really good too. Rendezvous and Central are my favorite too. And like this is the home, Elvis Presley. Well, Elvis was born in Tupelo, but Graceland's in Memphis. Of course, the food scene is just great between Central, and then you got all kinds of like small barbecue joints out here, like from East Memphis to everywhere in between. Good little random spots too. We found a brunch place. I can't even remember. It's out by U of M. There's a couple good breakfast spots out by U of M for breakfast. But yeah, I'm a Rendezvous and Central guy.
Okay. Okay. I went to you remember the show Neely's? I went to that barbecue place.
Down home with the Neelys, man. Didn't I think they got divorced or something, didn't
They did. They did. That was messed up. That was a good show right there. That was
they? Man,
like,
the chicken and dumplings. My mama started making their chicken and dumplings recipe, made it my entire rest of my childhood.
oh man, I know that was good. Man.
Hey, that sounds good. First time it get cold, get some chicken and dumplings. I ain't gonna lie. I don't look like it because my size, but I do love food.
I'm not that big neither, so trust me, I love food too.
No, don't believe that. He's a complete fat ass. Okay, don't.
But, so have you? I forgot the name of that place. It's been using the same grease to fry burgers in since the 1920s.
I think that's Dyer's.
Yeah, Dodgers. Yeah, that's the
I
name.
think they had to change the grease because I think there's a couple Dyer's locations in West Tennessee. There's one in Dyersburg and there's one in Collierville, which is like the edge of Shelby County and Fayette County, like 30 minutes ish from like downtownish, and
Yeah.
it's pretty good. We've eaten there a couple times. First time was better. They make milkshakes the old way in like an old ass milkshake making joint.
Oh,
Them joints fire, dude. Like I want to go get one now. Just talking about it, them milkshakes is rich. They was actually part of our engagement pictures, and she was like, "Don't drink the milkshake." I
Man,
drank the milkshake.
I would have took an L right there. I would have drunk the thing up.
Boy, it was good.
Man, I've been to Bill Street. This was when I'm in my mid 20s or whatever. I've been in Bill Street plenty of times, eating on the strip. Bartlett, Bartlett's like east of Memphis, South.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so eating on it.
It ain't even safe to go to Bill Street now, bro. Even if you like downtown, like in the day, it ain't exactly the safest place to be. But when able to exercise my Second Amendment right, I exercise the Second Amendment right. Kind of got to living in a place like this because it doesn't matter where you are. Unfortunately, now, like all the bad stuff's everywhere. But like AutoZone Park is one of the best minor league ballparks in the country. The Rendezvous Nachos, something about them sitting in that ballpark with a cold beer, they taste better.
Oh man,
Barbecue nachos, cold beer, and baseball, man. Like America, right there, just middle of Memphis.
See, yep.
Look, that
I knew it. See. Now my stomach just started growling right now. Thank you, y'all. Thank
now,
you. I
now
appreciate that.
I got one more question. Because you from Memphis now. What's the independent wrestling scene looking like down there?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I couldn't be the farthest disconnected from the independent
Yeah.
wrestling scene in Memphis. But it used to be big. I mean, Memphis is a very important city in this country's history for obviously one really, really bad thing. Rest in peace to Dr. King. But a lot of good stuff too. Like there's a lot of good. Like if you're watching and you've never been to Memphis and all you know is the statistics you see on TV, I want you to know I've met so many people that move here for work like you would not believe. I think city leaders just don't care enough to have people do what they need to do because I believe Memphis can be great. I truly believe. I don't. It would take a lot, but like the city can do it, and that's what makes it disappointing because it's like we have a D1 university here, like a good D1 university and a good academic school too, a city that should be, up and coming, but that's not what you asked about. And I get off on tangents, but that's just I'm always gonna be me, and people like it, people don't. I'm being who I always been when it comes to sports, man. It's just fun, guy. Thank y'all so much for having me on, man. I got along with Falcons fans more than I thought I would.
Hey man, hey man, like you said, but what we do over here, man, it's all about the conversation. Like you said, it ain't never gonna be that deep. Like you said, man, we definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Like you said, chopping it up with us as well. Like you said, I want you let you get the opportunity to plug yourself one more time for the people.
All right,
And
let's talk it. All right, Tuesday night talking Tigers, Busted Knee Sports, 6:30 Central. All your LSU wrap up of the week. My co-host is a season ticket holder, so he's at some of the games, not all the games. He said it was so hot down there last weekend versus UCLA, he had to leave at halftime for his safety's sake. It was that daggum hot in Baton Rouge. It was hot. He sits on the side of the stadium where the sun was shining. So imagine he was baking.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Tuesday night talking Tigers, and we just started this new program. We announced it last night. Thursday night, starting next week, we will be live on the Roll Tide Nation page as well as my page. All of this is on TikTok with the Dog Father, one of the faces of Georgia Bulldog fandom. JT from Roll Tide Nation, one of the faces of Alabama fandom. Tiger Bait, my boy Jacob, myself from LSU, two of the faces of LSU football. My boy Jacob, who's a Mississippi State alum and one of my friends who knows his stuff. State's obviously a poverty program right now. He called it the equivalent to a Mountain West team, but the man knows his stuff about more than just that. And then the only rational Tennessee fan I've ever met, my boy Jamie Delaney. And we're gonna be talking SEC Thursday nights at 8, man. And I don't post on Sundays to just kind of I posted a couple of random times on Sundays when some stuff is happening, but I don't post on Sundays. I try to go live on the weekends for SEC games. And yeah, who that nation, man? Getting ready for a dog fight with the Falcons this weekend.
Well, we hope to have you back on again when we got to play y'all again.
Hey, it would be fun, man. Hopefully we're in a position to where it's like, y'all aren't winning the division. The next time we play. When do we play y'all again?
It'll be like a month. It'll be a month out.
A month? Okay.
Yep.
About late October. I think early November, I think.
Early November.
All right, yeah, but yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, Jude, man, what's your final thought for the night, man? What's your final take for the night?
I don't got too much for tonight. I mean, I thank Nathan for joining us, man. We appreciate you, joining us, talking college football, talking Saints and Falcons. Like I said, we just need to get this win. At the end of the day, we sitting at 1-2. We want to make it 2-2 so we can even things up in the division. Because right now we're just one game behind. So we can go ahead and start it off on the right foot in the NFC South. You win your division, you get that home playoff game. So we got to get it off on the right foot. And because this is a home game, we got to protect home turf.
All right, Don, what's your final take for the night?
Hey, I don't have anything else, man. It was a great show. Like, I appreciate you coming on, Nate.
Hey, man, I just try to bring the vibe, man. I try to be me. We live in a world where everybody tries to care about what other people think, and the only opinion that matters is God. So if we can just sit here and talk ball, enjoy the time with the fellas, and this was what I like. This is what makes football fun, man. I don't know where y'all are from. I don't know your background, and I don't even give a damn because this is football, and it brings folks together.
Hey, that's exactly what it's all about, man. Mike, what's your final take for the night, man?
like I said, sports is really what brings people together, man, from all backgrounds, creed. You can have completely different sports is where bring everybody together, and that's what we try to do, man. Is to continuously bring the people. If we can impact the lives of people in a positive way, help people to be a little bit more confident in themselves, find that that confidence itself you never knew existed. Like this is what AFN continues to do. We're going to continue to do it. Um, like I said, man. You said at the end of the day, you can check us out obviously here at the Heavy Hitters with Six Man K Styles, 6MK Live, Jew Talk Sports, the Dunn favorite. We're going to get him doing a little bit more videos as far as the food reviews has come. Dunn, you got anything coming for the few food reviews?
I'm trying to detox myself, man. I'm on I'm fasting for a while.
Till they wake up in the morning, what do you mean? Probably.
Oh, you guys just gonna
Wait, goddamn it. Hold on. No, whoa. Time out. Wait. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Excuse me, y'all. Don said something stank over there. Wait a minute. You fasting?
Yeah.
wow.
Or you just fasting for the night?
Hey, man, I'm just taking it a minute at a time,
Minute at a time.
He just caught us off guard with that. I'm just saying. I apologize for the language, y'all. He just caught me off guard with that. I'm like, wait a minute. He talking about fasting.
Wow.
Even the people in the chat looking like fasting.
Wow. That wasn't that.
Yeah. But my final take is pretty much the theme of what the night is. It's all about bringing the conversation. It's about being able to get along. Um, as you always see, it is rivalry week. But the thing about it is once you have respect for the common man, you can have these conversations without leading to the other stuff. See, the problem is we got a lot of people that like to lead with the other stuff without bringing the proper context of the conversation, which will be about the football game. And me, that part of it is not something that I want to be well represented of, or what Mike want to be represented of, or what Nathan want to be represented of, or what you want to be represented of, or Don, or anybody else that talks football. Because at the end of the day, we only got about 4 months of this.
Yeah.
About 5, 6 months of this, and then we're gonna be depressed for another 5, 6 months.
Well, LSU wins the World Series in baseball, I won't be depressed. I'll hopefully we'll have a good season. Hopefully, I get back down there. Be fun. See,
Hey man,
I love football. I love baseball too. Sports is fun, man. I'm not a basketball guy like that no more. But go Grizzlies! They win in the West. Y'all winning the MVP. Want to get that out there right now. The Hawks are trash. The Hawks. Before we get up out here, the Hawks are trash. The Grizzlies winning the West.
Oh,
whooping you.
Whoa! I know you didn't say that.
We got the best big three in the league, man. Memphis, man. Come on. Had to give folks a little bit more energy before we get up out of here.
Man, Memphis Grizzlies gonna get their asses stomped out the ground, boy. We ain't doing that right now. but when NBA season does come around, hey, we might have some of them conversations too. So,
Yeah,
like I said,
I only follow the Grizzlies, and it's weird, but I'm a Kentucky basketball fan because my mama is a Kentucky basketball fan, and so I pull for them. Like outside of Kentucky guys doing well and the Grizzlies, I don't give pissed about nothing but the Grizzlies, baby.
But until next time, people, we appreciate y'all. We ain't here to play. We here to stay.
Yeah, dick.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here.
Bye. Deuces.
Come this Sunday.
Uh-oh.
It's back.
Uh-oh. That's what I'm waiting on.
That was-
Victory bell.
Mississippi State was bad with a cowbell. Not the Falcons made